Hello everyone. As of right now, the main card for UFC 317 will start in about just over 9 hours. And every card, I'd say there's some wonky decision that people complain about. And to be frank, most people just don't know how to score MMA bouts. I think it's an important part of being a fan, so you can really know who should have won or who's winning. You're not surprised by any decision. These are the official rules as of November 2024 when they updated the foul rules. These are the most up-to-date rules, unless there's some other ones that I'm unaware of. But I believe these are the newest rules. First, we're going to cover the 10-point system and how to determine the winner of a round. To begin, the 10-point must system will be the standard of scoring. I'm assuming this is supposed to mean a bout, not about. The 10-point must system. What does 10-point must system mean? It explains right here. The winner of a round will be given 10 points. There are no 9-9 rounds. You cannot score a round 9-9. A round can only be 9-9 through a point deduction. And it says right here, 9 points or less must be awarded to the loser except for a rare even round. Again, you cannot score a round 9-9. A round can become a 9-9 if the winner of the round had a point deducted. So when they would get 10 points, they now have 9. But you cannot score a round 9-9. 9-9 rounds do not exist unless there's a point deduction, obviously, like I said. Moving on. Actually, first, we will cover 9 points or less. We will cover the less portion later. We'll get into 10-8 and 10-7 rounds. But most of the time, the loser will get 9 points. Moving on. Judges shall evaluate mixed martial arts techniques such as effective striking / grappling. Plan A, effective aggressiveness. I don't know why it says aggressiveness instead of aggression. Plan B, in control of the fighting area. Plan C, plans B and C are not taken into consideration unless Plan A is weighed as being even. Evaluations shall be made in the specific order in which the techniques appear and above, giving the most weight and scoring to effective striking, grappling, and effective aggressiveness or aggression. I don't know why it says aggressiveness. It's bothering me now. In control of the fighting area. And those are all defined later. We'll get to those in just a second. So to summarize this portion, first is the effective striking / grappling. If that's even, you go to effective aggressiveness to determine the winner. And if that's also even, then you go to Plan C, which is area control, octagon control, control of the fighting area, whatever you want to call it. So what do all of these mean? Effective striking is judged by determining the impact / effect of legal strikes landed by a contestant solely based on the results of such legal strikes. Meaning, whoever has the more impactful strikes wins on effective striking. It's not about the total number of strikes. I see this all of the time. People citing total strike numbers. Under the current unified rules, as of when this video is being made, June 28th of 2025, significant striking stats do not matter. They do not determine the winner of a round. The winner of the striking is determined by who has the more impactful strikes, not who landed more. Moving on to effective grappling. Effective grappling is assessed by the successful execution and impactful / effective result or results coming from takedowns, submission attempts, achieving an advantageous position, and reversals. What does this mean? You grapple. You take someone down and you do something with it. You attempt a submission. That's effective grappling. You get a reversal, you take someone's back, you attempt a submission. That's effective grappling. Simply holding a position does not mean much. You have to have a result from that. Now, to determine which one takes precedent over which for effective striking and grappling, because they're both weighed evenly, it doesn't explicitly say in the rules. Referee John McCarthy, who took a part in writing the rules, he explains how you determine that, and it's actually which one takes up more of the round. So if most of the round is standing, the striking will weigh more. Most of the round is grappling, the grappling will weigh more. Moving on to effective aggressiveness. Effective aggressiveness means aggressively making attempts to finish the fight. Pretty straightforward. Throwing hard strikes, chasing submission attempts, effective aggressiveness. And then fighting area control is assessed by determining who is dictating the pace, place, and position of the bout. So who is moving forward? Who is controlling the center of the cage? Also, clinch control is this as well. People complain about clinch control all the time. This is considered fighting area control. Also, just having a dominant position, or having any position rather, that's just fighting area control. Simply maintaining a position is not effective grappling. You have to do something with that position for it to be considered effective grappling. To summarize the first section, number 1, the winner of a round will get 10 points. The loser will get 9 or fewer. Sometimes there can be point deductions. But for a judge giving points, winner must always get 10, loser 9, 8, or 7. We'll get into 10, 9, 10, 8, 10, 7 later, which is actually the next section. It's right down there. Next, in terms of weighing who won a round, what takes precedent the most? Effective striking and grappling. Between those, it is what the round was mostly. So, if a round's mostly striking, that's going to weigh more. If a round's mostly grappling, that's going to weigh more. If that's even, you go to effective aggressiveness. If effective aggressiveness is even, octagon control, area control, they change the name of it every time. That is third. Moving on to 10-10, 10-9, 10-8, 10-7. The rounds to be scored when 10-10, when both contestants have completed for whatever duration of the time in the round, and there is no difference or advantage between either fighter. Seems pretty straightforward, even round. Let's say they both are just standing there for 5 minutes. Maybe they each exchange like one leg kick each. That would be a 10-10, where there's no discernible difference. The round is to be scored a 10-9 round when a contestant wins by a close margin, where the winning fighter lands the better strikes or utilizes effective grappling during the round. Most rounds you will see in MMA are scored 10-9. A round is to be scored as a 10-8 round when a contestant wins the round by a large margin by impact, dominance, and duration of striking or grappling in a round. All of these words, impact, dominance, and duration, they are defined below. They're defined below. We'll describe what all of those mean. A round is to be scored as a 10-7 round when a contestant is completely dominated by impact, dominance, and duration of striking or grappling in a round. In previous editions of the rules, the language of the judge believes that the fight should be stopped or a stoppage is warranted was used. They've since removed that, or I'm not sure if that is now the standard still. It's just now completely dominated, overwhelmed. So as we were talking about before, 10-8 round, impact, dominance, and duration. These are all defined right here. Let's begin with impact. Impact, a judge shall assess if a fighter impacts their opponent significantly in the round, even though they may not have dominated the action. Impact includes visible evidence such as swelling and lacerations. Impact shall also be assessed when a fighter's actions, using striking and or grappling, lead to a diminishing of their opponent's energy, confidence, abilities, and spirit. All of these come as a direct result of impact. When a fighter is impacted by strikes, by lack of control and or / ability, this can create defining moments in the round and shall be assessed with great value. What does all of this mean? You hurt your opponent. You land a good strike and it visibly, wobbles them, they're hurt, or you're on the ground, you get in a decent sub attempt. That's impact. Rather straightforward. Dominance has its own definition for the rules. As MMA is an offensive-based sport, dominance of a round can be seen striking when the losing fighter is forced to continually defend with no counters or reaction taken when openings present themselves. In this case, dominance is a fighter being forced to continually defend. They're just sitting there defending. They're not trying to fight. They are in a completely defensive state. That is dominance. Dominance in the grappling phase can be seen by fighters taking dominant positions in the fight and utilizing those positions to attempt fighting into submissions or attacks. Merely holding a dominant position or dominant positions shall not be a primary factor in assessing dominance. What the fighter does with those positions is what must be assessed. In the absence of dominance in the grappling phase, as set forth in paragraph 3 of the promulgated rules, To be considered dominant, there must be a singularity or in combination some types of submission attempts, strikes, or an overwhelming pace which is measured by improved or aggressive positional changes that cause the losing fighter to consistently be in a defensive or reactive mode. So like with the striking, defensive or dominance in the grappling is when a fighter is just continually defending. That is what dominance is. And then duration is straightforward. It's just it needs to take place over some course of the round. 5 seconds of being on top of your opponent is not enough to warrant a 10-8. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes, assuming dominance and impact are there, that would be much closer to a 10-8. It depends on the other ones. So for a 10-8 round, you need all three of these: impact, dominance, and duration. And I hope some people find use in this video. That's my goal. That'll be it for today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your days and enjoy the card later. Goodbye.